It's just been a day since Joe Biden was formally nominated, and the Democratic presidential candidate has already found support from a country on the other side of the globe. The country is China. Beijing says Biden will be quote-unquote smoother to deal with. Well, Chinese President Xi Jinping has not said this. His mouthpiece, the Global Times, has. It ran a 1,200-word article backing Biden's campaign. The writer of the article is Yang Sheng, the same man who declared that India will quote-unquote pay a heavy price if it miscalculates China. In his opinion, the Hong Kong movement is leading the country nowhere. Using the Wuhan virus to smear China will backfire. So clearly, we're not looking at a balanced journalist here. But one thing is clear, his views are in line with Xi Jinping's. This is what Yang had to say on Biden. First, that the United States will be more predictable under Joe Biden. Point number two, China says Biden is likely to continue, quote-unquote, US-launched great power competition with China. But there's a sense that under Biden, Washington and Beijing will have more reasons to hold a dialogue and cooperate, or so this man believes. Point number three, China says that Biden would revive Barack Obama's legacy. In other words, negotiate the Trans-Pacific Partnership. How does it help China? That is something the Global Times has failed to answer. But it does go on to say that Biden will be better than Trump because he is likely to place the United States back into the Paris Climate Agreement and the Iranian nuclear deal. And then one very interesting point that it makes, I'm quoting, for China, because Biden was vice president during Obama's term and had a lot of prior experience dealing with Chinese leaders, we would expect to facilitate more effective communication with Biden if he wins. What does China have to say about Donald Trump? The article says his administration is unilateral, selfish, and hegemonic. American and Chinese diplomats have nothing to talk about when they meet. China believes Biden could change this. Well, we say China should hold its crackers till the results are declared. Is there a case in China's argument, though? I can't say for sure. It looks like the Democrats have not yet made up their mind on China. Why do I say so? Because earlier this month, Joe Biden said he will end Donald Trump's tariffs on Chinese-made goods, only for his aide to walk back on that statement. Now, here's another question. What does China's endorsement of Joe Biden mean for Donald Trump? Good news. This is the president's I told you so moment. Trump has repeatedly said that China wants him to lose the election. He has gone to the extent of saying that Beijing may interfere in the November 3rd polls.
The biggest risk that we have is mail-in ballots, because with the mail-in ballots, called universal mail-in ballots, it is a much easier thing for a foreign power, whether it's Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, many others, people, countries you wouldn't expect. It's much easier for them to forge ballots and send them in.
There's a threat everywhere he looks. Well, China's endorsement of Joe Biden spells bad news for him. Remember, China is one of the biggest election issues this season. 73% of American adults have been unfavorable. They have an unfavorable view of China. 78% of Americans blame China for the global spread of the Wuhan virus. This is according to a Pew Research. Logic dictates that Americans are likely to prefer a president who is not so smooth on China. Meanwhile, the Democratic National Convention is gathering steam before the grand finale later tonight. Wednesday was day 3 of the DNC, and it was Kamala Harris's big night. The senator was formally nominated as the vice presidential pick. Also on the roll was every prominent Democrat standing, from former President Barack Obama to former presidential nominee Hillary Clinton, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The showstopper for the night was singer Billie Eilish. Let's take a look at the highlights.
When I was in 7th or 8th grade, we memorized the preamble of the Constitution, and I've never forgotten it.
The Vice President has worked tirelessly by our side to end the backlog of hundreds of thousands of untested rape kits.
I have sat in the Oval Office with both of the men who are running for president. I never expected that my successor would embrace my vision or continue my policies. I did hope for the sake of our country, that Donald Trump might show some interest in taking the job seriously.
We've sent the Senate bills to protect our dreamers, LGBTQ equality, to prevent gun violence, and to preserve our planet for future generations, and even more. All of this is possible for America. Who was standing in the way? Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump.
Donald Trump's ignorance and incompetence have always been a danger to our country. COVID-19 was Trump's biggest test. He failed miserably.
We need leaders who will solve problems like climate change and COVID, not deny them.
Greetings, America. It is truly an honor to be speaking with you tonight. And there's another woman whose name isn't known, whose story isn't shared, another woman whose shoulders I stand on. And that's my mother, Shamala Gopalan Harris.
In a few hours from now, Democratic nominee Joe Biden will deliver his acceptance speech. There's a lot of speculation about what the 77-year-old would say. One American publication is calling it the speech that Biden has been preparing for his entire life. But here's something that he may not have prepared for. The arrest of former Trump advisor Steve Bannon hours before Biden's big virtual speech. All the media attention in the U.S. has shifted to Bannon. Prosecutors claim that Bannon has duped donors of $25 million. The money was collected with the promise of building a border wall. Bannon was one of the key figures in Trump's 2016 election campaign. He also served as the White House chief strategist for the first 7 months of the Trump presidency. The timing of Bannon's arrest will not favor the Trump campaign, and it's definitely stealing Joe Biden's thunder.